following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. Play ball! It's time for the fun and excitement of West Virginia high school baseball. Today's game is being brought to you by
Miller Honda, Cox Holiday Professionals CPAs, Brown Funeral Homes, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Ameriprise Financial, WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Parsons Ford, Bechtel Jewelers, WH Miller Systems, D&N Auto, The Mortgage Center, the Hagerstown Suns, Haas's Steak and Sea, Bears Repair, The Final Score, and Atlantic Security.
And now for the pregame show. Let's go out to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome into Eagle Field, home of Hedgesville Eagles baseball tonight. A special night at the ballpark as the Eagles play host to the Yellow Jackets of Moorefield High School. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Marco and Ash are with us from the Marco Nation, controlling our video for this evening's telecast, and Caleb Falero, our engineer, back at the studio. Matt, Hedgesville coming in at 16-7, Moorefield at 15-8. This one looks to be a good one here tonight between two teams from two different classes.
Yeah, Moorefield single A team, the state champion single A last year, so looking forward to see a team from across the state that we usually don't get to see a whole heck of a lot.
Well, both of these teams kind of maybe going in a little bit of a different direction. Moorefield 9-3 in their last 12, Hedgesville 5-5 over their last 10 games. Well, we need to pause here as we play the national anthem. We'll take a 90-second break back at the studio, then return with a look at today's starting lineups.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families. In Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown-Ranson, we're here when you need us.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first.
Pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Find them online at WHMsystems.com or phone 304-350-1931. Well, an abbreviated pregame show as we make that transition out of Washington Nationals baseball, falling in the series finale at Colorado, 9-5 the final. Now we bring you high school baseball, Hedgesville hosting Moorefield. And as we wrap up here, we'll then join in progress Game 7 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoff opening round series with the Washington Capitals hosting the Carolina Hurricanes. It is a busy sports day at Talk Radio WRNR and now TV10 as well.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to catching hopefully the second and third period of the Caps game tonight, Game 7. Always an exciting night in sports, but again, we got to get through this one first, and this one looking very exciting here today with Moorefield coming in at 15-8, the Hedgesville Eagles at 16-7. 16-7. Parker Martin doing his warm-up pitches right now, throwing to Brady Weaver behind the plate. So looking to have a good pitching matchup here as well.
Let's set up the starting lineups, brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Phone 304-267-4078 to set up an appointment. For the Moorefield Yellow Jackets, under the direction of 19th-year head coach Wade Armentrout, assisted by Scott Stutler and Wesley Martinez, Moorefield will have pitcher Brent Moran in the leadoff spot, followed by the shortstop Isaac Van Meter. Batting third at third base, Hayden Baldwin. In the cleanup spot, the catcher Lane Hours. The number 5 hitter in center field is Matthew Jenkins. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter Grant Keller. He bats for starting right fielder Coleman Mongold. The number 7 hitter in left field is Derek Hoyt. Batting eighth at first base is Blake Watson. The number 9 hitter, second baseman Thomas Williams. Parker Martin on the hill. Brady Weaver behind the plate will set the rest of that Hedgesville defense in just a moment. We'll give you the Eagle batting order as they come to the plate in the bottom of the first. Today's first pitch down and in. That is ball one. Opening pitch coming at 6:06. And today's opening pitch, a service of the Mortgage Center on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Hey, don't let anyone throw you a curveball when it comes to your mortgage. Stop by and see Mark and Cheryl Savitt. They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you from application to settlement, plus low interest rates and closing costs. Online at mortgagefinancing.com or phone 304-267-9040. Brief delay before the second pitch.
Yeah, Parker Martin looked like he had a bracelet on that left hand, had to take it off as second pitch low and inside for ball two. Martin comes in with a record of 3-1 through 22 in the third innings of work, a 1.57 ERA. He's given up 19 hits, 12 runs, but only 5 have been charged to him. 24 strikeouts to just 10 walks.
2-0 delivery on the outside corner for a strike. Now 2-1 to Brent Moran. Rounding out that defense for Hedgesville, Jamison Matthew is at first. Tyler Bubb at second base. 2-1 pitch down low and outside for ball three. Kyle West plays short. Josh Rush is at third. And in the outfield from left to right, Caleb Brown, Chase DeLauder, and Hunter Coe. Working from the first base side of the pitching rubber with the next delivery on the 3-1. It's a ground ball to the shortstop. West plays it on that chest-high hop and makes the throw to first for out number one.
It was a slight chopper and a good job by West waiting until it hit that lip so he could see what it was going to do. I made one nice quick step and a good fire over to first for out number one.
So Moran grounds out on a 3-1 pitch. Bases empty with one away for Isaac Van Meter. Sophomore shortstop in the number 2 spot in the order. So I looked up and down the roster that we have from the WVSS AC page. You're looking at only 3 seniors, 3 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 1 freshman in this starting lineup for a young Moorefield team. First pitch to Van Meter, outside, ball one.
Van Meter, 21 hits and 67 plate appearances as the 1-0 misses low in the dirt. Gets by Brady Weaver. No runners on, not going to cause any panic. Count now 2-0.
Not a good sign, though, as Parker Martin has fallen behind each of the first 2 batters that he has faced here in this one. Managed to battle back and get Moran to ground out on the 3-1. Now the 2-0 to Van Meter. That one had the plate, but down below the knees. That's ball 3.
Van Meter's 21 for 67 is good enough for a .313 batting average. A 1 home run. He's driven in 17, but has also drawn a few walks. A .440 on-base percentage is a 3-0 in for strike one.
Yeah, right down the heart of the plate as Martin tries to battle back. He struggled a bit with control in his start down at Myrtle Beach last week. 3-1 on the way. That one down low and outside, and it's ball 4. A 1-out base on balls will give Moorefield a runner for Hayden Baldwin. We mentioned earlier a special night at the ballpark, as it's really a fundraising event this evening for Emily Roberts, a senior here at Hedgesville High School, battling through a rare blood disorder. At some point today, we hope to get her on our broadcast. We'll find out more about how she's doing and how maybe we can all help. Swinging at the first pitch, a high pop-up on the infield, in the grass between the mound and first base. It's the pitcher Parker Martin who calls everyone off and pulls it in, and Hayden Baldwin pops out for the second out of the inning.
Not something you see all that often. Number one, I'm surprised that Baldwin was swinging at the first pitch because of the control issues we've seen early from Parker Martin, but also you don't see pop flies to the pitcher all that often. Parker Martin doing a great job of getting off the mound, working into the grass by about 3 or 4 steps to his left and making the play, not 2 down.
Had plenty of time to get under it. Boy, that went straight up the elevator shaft. Swinging at the first pitch, Lane Hours fouls it back and out of play for strike 1.
Hours a .343 hitter, 24 for 70 on the season. Also a .410 on-base percentage, 14 runs driven in, and has 1 round tripper.
Had 7 doubles in there. Has put the bat on the ball for some extra base hits. Takes this one down low. 1 ball, 1 strike that counts. This is the second time this season that these two teams have played. It was back in early April when they met up at Moorefield. Swinging away at the 1-1. It's a fly ball to center field, ranging over to his right. Getting under it is Chase DeLauder. He'll pull it in, and the side is retired. Moorefield gets a 1-out base on balls, but they'll leave that runner stranded at first. We've played a half an inning. It's Moorefield nothing. Hedgesville coming to bats.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
Again here at Eagle Field, moving to the bottom half of the first inning. Time for us to introduce the starting lineup batting-wise for the Hedgesville Eagles. Again, brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. Get it fixed right the first time at D&N Auto, family-owned and operated since 1974. Set up an appointment by phoning 304-267-4078. Well, the Eagles 16-7, led by first-year head coach Eric Grove. He is assisted by Nikki Brown, Derek Snyder, Mike Quinn, Levi Marty, Brian Mosley, and Scott Budka for the Eagles. Center fielder Chase DeLauder's in the leadoff spot, followed by the third baseman Josh Rush. Batting third in right field, Hunter Coe. The cleanup hitter, starting catcher Brady Weaver. Batting fifth, the pitcher Parker Martin. The number 6 hitter at shortstop is Kyle West. Batting seventh, designated hitter Ryan Fry. Batting for first baseman Jamison Matthew. Hitting eighth at second base, Tyler Bubb, and the number 9 hitter, left fielder, Caleb Brown. Set the defense for Moorefield as Brent Moran finishes up his warm-up tosses. Behind the plate is Lane Hours. At first, Blake Watts. At second, Thomas Williams. Isaac Van Meter is the shortstop with Hayden Baldwin at third. Around the outfield from left to right, Derek Hoyt, Matthew Jenkins, and then Coleman Mongold. Mongold being DH'd for. He is a freshman, the lone freshman in the starting lineup, getting that start out in right field.
So the defense is there, just the bat hasn't quite come around yet for the freshman, still trying to catch up to the varsity speed.
Chase DeLauder into the left-hand batter's box. First pitch of the bottom of the first, popped foul, back out of play. That one in on his hands for strike 1.
DeLauder in the leadoff spot today, much to the delight of athletic director Aaron Whitford.
Former head baseball coach, we should add.
DeLauder hitting .563 with a .656 on-base percentage.
Gets jammed on this one, pops it up towards the third baseman, and a pretty easy play for Hayden Baldwin as he pulls it in for out number 1.
Yeah, a pitch that just jammed Chase DeLauder and was a little bit late on it anyway, drove it a short flare, as they would call it, to the third baseman, and a good job by Baldwin. Hauling it in for out 1.
Well, Moran busted him in on that first pitch, came right back in again, and got that weak pop-up off the hands. One away for Josh Rush, and he'll take a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Rush bats from the right side. Near the back of the box, somewhat crowds the plate. The junior hitting .350, does have a homer, 12 driven in. Swings and grounds this one sharply in the hole between third and short. That one's through for a base hit.
Good job by Josh Rush in that number 2 spot. Waited on that one. A little bit of an off-speed pitch there and drove that into the gap between short and third. We have one out base runner standing on first base, and it's Josh Rush.
29th hit on this season for Rush in now 81 at-bats. He's aboard with one away for Hunter Coe. Starting right fielder has really been swinging a hot bat as of late. Right-hand batter moves out of the way of a curveball that misses inside, ball 1. Looking back over the last few games, Coe with a hit and a run batted in on Monday in a victory against Allegheny. Had a couple of hits against University last Thursday. Had a pretty good beach trip at the plate as he fouls the 1-0 out of play down the right field line. Now at 1 ball and 1 strike against River Bluff. He had a hit and an RBI, and in the beach trip opener last Monday, 2 hits including a home run and 3 runs batted in. Looking to keep that hot bat going. Gets a piece of this 1-1 pitch. Fouls it into the mid of the catcher lane. Hours. Count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coe hitting .418 on the season. 4 homers, leads the team in RBI at 35. Taking his time, Moran gets the sign from Hours. Turns and makes a toss over to first, and back in on the dive goes Rush.
Not by more than about a half a step. Rush leaning a little bit, and Moran with a good move. Not sure if that was his A move or if he just got Josh Rush leaning a little bit, but a good move regardless. They'll check back over again. This time, Rush takes about a half step back, and he's in there on the dive.
Now that throw just a little bit high. Blake Watts at first, pulling it in, but really never had a chance to try to apply a tag that go around. Rush again with his lead. The 1-2 pitch due to Coe. Here it comes. Runners on the move. Pitch lifted in the air into right field. Ranging over is Mongold. The freshman near the line will catch it. Throwing in behind the runner on a short hop. It gets by the first baseman, Watts. Backing up the play is starting pitcher Brent Moran. He'll scoop it up as Rush was able to get back, and he'll still be at first with now 2 outs in the inning.
And luckily for Josh Rush, he was off on that pitch. And fortunately for him, Coleman Mangold just could not make the throw to first accurately. It was a good pick attempt by Watts at first, but just couldn't come up with. That should have been a double play at the inning.
So it brings up Brady Weaver with 2 outs, and that runner still at first. He'll check his swing and take a called strike on the inside corner. Yeah, you could see Rush off with the pitch. Never really able to look back and pick up where that baseball was after contact was made. He was all the way at second base when the catch was being made by Mongold out in right. Just couldn't get enough on that throw to beat him back to the bag.
He actually looked at the plate. I think he assumed it was probably fouled off. And after he looked at the plate, picked up the third base coach down the third base line and had to quickly get back to first.
And that's Nicky Brown in that third base coach's box. Weaver swinging at the 0-1, sends a fly ball into right field. Once again, the freshman Mongold is there. He'll make the grab, and the side is retired. There was a 1-out single for Hedgesville, but Josh Rush will be stranded at first base. We've got 1 inning in the books. It's Moorefield nothing and Hedgesville nothing.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
No score as we go to the top of the second inning. Hey, if you're in your car on the way home from work or maybe headed out and looking for something to do this evening, we want you to come here to Eagle Field and take in what's a good baseball game and as well help a good cause, a special night here at the ballpark, a fundraising event for Emily Roberts and her family, a senior here at Hedgesville battling through a rare blood disorder. They've got some great raffles and other activities going on, silent auction and so forth, and again, it all goes to help a great cause, and so we encourage you to come on out to the ballpark here this evening at Eagle Field. Going to the top of the second inning, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters are due for Moorefield, facing Parker Martin. In the first inning, Matt, we had him at 14 pitches, 6 of those for strikes. First pitch of the top of the second, a fastball for strike one to Matthew Jenkins.
Yeah, it took Parker Martin a little while to get into a groove. Back-to-back 3-1 counts warranted to the leadoff and number 2 batter, but eventually found his groove as the 0-1 of swing and a miss by Mason Jenkins. Now behind on the count 0-2. That
was a big swing.
Yes, a hearty cut by the starting center fielder today.
Just a sophomore, one of 3 sophomores in this starting lineup, able to lay off of a pitch that missed outside. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Jenkins with 19 hits in 62 at-bats. That's a .306 average. No home runs, 14 driven in. Martin to the plate, and it's a check swing pop-up down the third base line over near the line. In fact, straddling the line on the move. The pitcher, Parker Martin, calling off the third baseman and the catcher, makes that play for out number 1.
Talk about Parker Martin fielding his position today so far. 2 pop flies that have been his to get. That would have been a tough play for Brady Weaver to make or Josh Rush to make coming in from third base. So he did a great job of changing his momentum, again falling more to the first base line, and sprinted over the third base line to make it look almost routine off the mound.
Well, the right-hand pitcher delivers the first pitch to Grant Keller in a sharp line drive foul off the third base side. Count 0-1 to the senior designated hitter. Batting today for starting right fielder Coleman Mongold. Keller, a senior, has not had a lot of opportunities at the plate. 1 hit in 4 at-bats on the year. Swings and fouls this one out of play off the third base side. Quickly 0-2.
But he does not have the least amount of at-bats in this lineup today.
He does not.
He does not. Your on-deck batter, Derek Hoyt, holds that crown. We will see his first at-bat coming up.
The 0-2 pitch on the way from Martin, and that fastball off the outside edge. Now with a ball and 2 strikes. A 2-man umpiring crew working this one. Brian Collins behind the plate calling balls and strikes. James Franklin on the bases. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, off-speed bounced on a high chop off the third base side of the mound. Barehanded by Martin, turns, throws, safe at first. A good stretch by Jamison Matthew as the first baseman reached down and pulled it in, but Keller able to leg it out for the infield base hit.
But what a play again by Parker Martin, fielding his position, was able to get that chopper barehanded, stop his momentum that was taking him towards the third base line, turn and make a phenomenal throw to first base, but unfortunately you just saw the speed of Keller able to get there just about a half step before the ball reached first base, but a great play by Parker Martin.
Jamison Matthew will now hold Keller aboard at first as Derek Hoyt, left fielder and number 7 hitter, stands in. And the first pitch to him down low and outside for ball 1. Well, if you're watching on TV 10 or the WRNR TV page on YouTube, you'll notice some different camera angles here for tonight's broadcast, expanding some things as Hoyt takes down low and away 2 balls and no strikes. And thanks to Marco and Ash with the Marco Nation helping us out with our video feed, adding some extra cameras. We'll take your feedback. Give us comments there on that YouTube page or our Facebook page. Swinging away at the 2-0, Hoyt fouls one back. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. The senior starting in left field today. Takes a moment to look at his head coach, Wade Armentrout, in the third base coach's box. Now digs back in and takes a 2-1 pitch down in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike. And after Parker Martin did a nice job getting ahead of the first 2 hitters, we've hit the Parker Martin of the first inning.
At least the first part of the first inning. Again, settled down once he got to the 3 and 4 batters, but again, struggled with his control, which is what he's doing to Hoyt right now.
Swinging away at the 3-1. It's a bouncing ball towards second. They go to second for 1, and the relay throw to first and did not get him. Nice play. Tyler Bubb as the second baseman gave that little shovel toss to Kyle West at second. The shortstop firing on to first, but could not get Hoyt, who will reach on a fielder's choice. Keller is erased at second for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, unfortunately, that ball just moving a little bit too slow. Bubb did all he could do in that play with the runner coming from first to second. Couldn't charge that ball anymore, but did a good job of getting it to Kyle West, covering it second quickly, but unfortunately that ball was just too slow off the bat to the right side of the infield.
So it brings to the plate Blake Watts out of the number 8 spot in the order. He takes down low for ball 1. Watts, a senior, starting at first base. A .402 average, a homer and 23 driven in. Off-speed pitch. Snaps down in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. So Coach Armentrout with a couple of guys that don't have a lot of at-bats in that 6 and 7 spot in the order, but then you look at the 8 spot and the 9 spot, and you've got some guys that have put up some pretty good numbers. So you can still generate something out of the bottom of the order as the 1-1 misses up and away, 2 balls and a strike.
And I always like that move. Kind of cushioning the guys that don't have the numbers you would expect and putting guys at least in that number 9 spot, but in this case the 8 and 9 spot, to try to get on for the first couple batters in the lineup.
2-1 pitch, low and away in the dirt. Nice block by Brady Weaver as he went to the knees and scooted over towards that left-hand batter's box, able to smother that one and keep Hoyt at first base. He's there with 2 away, and Blake Watts now awaiting a 3-1 pitch. Parker Martin comes set, and the pitch. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball, foul, third base side. Count has gone full at 3-2. Everybody getting that green light on the 3-1 nowadays.
Yeah, which it is. It's the old adage, that's the hitter's count, right? That's when you're supposed to swing for the fences if it's anywhere near. So you see a lot more guys that aren't necessarily power hitters getting that green light, trying to spark something. Count now full again, 3-2.
Parker Martin looking for an out pitch to set down the side. The runner should be on the move. There he goes. 3-2 delivery. Sharp line drive right back behind the pitcher into center field for a hit. Making his turn, Hoyt will hold at second. And runners at first and second now with 2 away for Moorefield and the number 9 hitter Thomas Williams coming up.
And again, that's why I like putting those guys that have pretty good batting average in the bottom of the lineup, because you can generate stuff, and it's not necessarily the easy outs that you used to call in Little League, where the number 9 batter would get to the plate and you'd yell, easy out. So I like when there's good averages at the bottom of the lineup, and a 288 hitter in Thomas Williams stepping to the plate now.
He swings at the first pitch and lines it foul just outside of that third base bag, in between the bag and his head coach, Wade Armentrout, in the coach's box. Count 0-1. Yeah, Watts with that base hit now has 25 hits in 74 at-bats on the season. And with runners at first and second, Jamison Matthew will play at his regular position at first behind the runner. No need to hold him on with the runner in front of him. Williams stepping back in. The 0-1 pitch. Martin going to look at that runner at second. Now turns, delivers, off-speed pitch, a swing and a miss.
And Williams didn't look comfortable on that swing. Kind of rolled over the hands, and I think realized he should not have swung about halfway through that swing, but unfortunately was going to go all the way through.
Near the back of the box, crowds the plate in that right-hand batter's box, awaits that 0-2 delivery. Second baseman ducking over, now Bubb back into position as the pitch misses up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This Yellow Jacket team, winners of 6 of their last 8. They were 6-5 through their first 11 games, but have picked up the pace, winning 9 and losing only 3 in their last 12 games. Next pitch to the plate, that one missing down low. Again, Weaver able to smother that one in the dirt. The runners hold as the count goes 2-2.
And Williams, a 288 hitter that's 17 for 59, but does have a 432 on-base percentage. So he's able to get on base 4 out of about every 10 times.
He awaits that 2-2 pitch. Here it comes, and it misses high for ball 3. Good eye. And Williams has a good eye at the plate. 17 hits in 59 at bats. Add in 10 base on balls to lift that on-base percentage. So see what happens with the payoff. 3-2. Runners on the move. Pitch down low in the dirt, and that's ball 4. Second walk issued in this one by Parker Martin, and it loads the bases. Hoyt now stands at third. Watts is at second. Williams is at first, and Derek Snyder, pitching coach for Hedgesville, makes his way out to the mound to talk it over with Parker Martin. Brady Weaver, the catcher, heads out there as well. We're back to the top of the order, and Brent Moran to the plate. He is 0 for 1. Grounded out to the shortstop on a 3-1 pitch to get the game started. No score as we're in the top of the second inning. Go back to when these teams met in early April. It was an 11-4 win for Hedgesville. They scored a run in each of their first 2 at-bats. Moorefield answered with a run in the bottom of the second. It was a 2-1 game until the top of the 4th inning when Hedgesville put 3 on the board, and that really began to open things up as they added 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th. Moorefield got 3 more in the 6th inning, and the final again 11-4. Well, action back underway, and first pitch swinging. It's a one-hopper to Kyle West, the shortstop, giving the underhand toss to Bub at second. And Thomas Williams is erased on the fielder's choice ground ball that will bring the inning to a close.
Going to be an inning that Moorefield's going to want back depending on how this game goes. 3 left on base, and an inning they're going to look back on if they fall in this one by 1 or 2 runs is an inning they could have done some damage early.
Yeah, they get a couple of base hits and a base on balls, but they will leave the bases loaded. We're through an inning and a half, and it's Moorefield nothing and Hedgesville nothing.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the Horsemen.
Talking to Trip Tobin about American Legion baseball. He's going to be on Miller Time with us on Friday evening, as it looks like rain in the forecast Friday. So the high school game we had planned to do Friday, Musselman at Martinsburg, is actually being played, well, not quite right now. It's going to throw out the first pitch at 7, so we're still about 25 minutes away from that as we had a 6 o'clock first pitch here. All right, Parker Martin, number 5 hitter in the order to stand in to get the Hedgesville half of this second inning underway. No score. On the hill, Brent Moran, and the first pitch to him down low and outside, ball 1.
Moran, 10 pitches in that first inning. Allowed 1 hit, 1 left on for Hedgesville. But a good inning to start it off in the bottom of inning number 1 for Moran on the mound as he fixes a little hole in the landing spot of that front foot. And now is ready to come out of the windup.
The right-hander works pretty much from the middle of the pitching rubber. Misses down low and outside with this one. And Matt, 2 balls and no strikes. He has now thrown twice as many balls in this half inning as he did in the first. You mentioned his 10 pitches, 9 were for strikes.
It's pretty efficient.
2-0 delivery off that inside corner. Look out, 3 balls and no strikes. Moran only 7 walks in now 20 2/3 innings on the year. See if he can battle back from the windup. 3-0 to the plate. That one's in there for a strike. Martin does have 6 walks on the season. 12 hits in 31 at-bats for a .387 average. No homers, 14 driven in for the junior starting pitcher. Swings, lines this one right back through the box. Moran getting out of the way as that one heads into center field for a leadoff single.
Yeah, it was a case where Moran stuck the glove out in the backhand, but I don't think was truly intending on ever coming down with that baseball. Again, a very sharp hit ball back up the middle by Parker Martin. I think Moran was just trying to get out of the way as quick as possible.
We have now seen each pitcher get out of the way of that line shot right back through the box. Big base hit from Blake Watts in the last half inning for Moorefield that did the same thing, went right behind Parker Martin after his follow-through.
Moran's still got a little bit to do fielding his position to catch up to what Martin's done to this point, though.
A runner at first, nobody out. The left-handed batting Kyle West to the plate. Has a hole to hit through as he watches a curveball that misses low and away. Ball one. West, a sophomore, hitting .352. 25 hits in, 71 at-bats. No home runs, 21 driven in. Toss over to first, back in on the dive. Goes our courtesy runner. Courtesy runner for the pitcher, Parker Martin. West will step back in. Watts holding the runner at first. Pitch to the plate. Misses high and away, goes off the glove of Hours, and that one through to the backstop. That may be a passed ball that advances the base runner into scoring position at second.
100% a pass ball. It popped out of his pocket is what it did. They just didn't watch it all the way into the glove, and the ball just popped out.
So now a runner at second base moving up on that passed ball in scoring position with the 2-0 pitch to Kyle West, a down and in, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Ryan Fry due next. No score in this one, but Hedgesville threatening with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Moran to the plate, and it's a belt-high fastball for strike one.
I expect West to get the green light here, just like Parker Martin did. Martin now standing on second.
Or the courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner for Parker Martin, rather.
Still haven't quite gotten the number from our vantage point. We'll tell you who it is shortly. Swinging at the 3-1. It's a line drive into left field. Coming in on it quickly is Hoyt. He's going to make that throw through to the plate as the runner turned and held at third base. That is a base hit for Kyle West. Back-to-back singles to get the inning started for Hedgesville, and they'll have runners at the corners.
And identical at-bats off both 5 pitches, both on the 3-1 pitch. Driven in for singles into the outfield.
Well, that's 15 Thomas Budka, who is serving as the courtesy runner. Courtesy runner in high school baseball for pitcher and catcher. Means that they can run for the pitcher or catcher who reaches base but are not officially in the game, could still come in later. Here's a swing and a ground ball on one hop to the third baseman. He'll go to second for one, and the relay throw to first is a little too late. Good hard slide at second by Kyle West as the second baseman, Thomas Williams, a little slow getting back up and getting back to position as he hit the deck trying to make that throw to first. It will be a ground ball, fielder's choice, to drive in a run as Budka scored from third, 1-0 Hedgesville.
Drives a run in. He did his job. It's all that matters. Hedgesville takes the 1-0 lead. Now standing in is Tyler Bubb.
Bubb will take the first pitch down the middle for strike one. So Fry reaches on the fielder's choice. He collects his 4th run batted in on the season. When after that first pitch, bounces into that 5-4 fielder's choice. It erased the runner at second, but did score the runner from third. This pitch down in the dirt. Count to Bubb, 1 ball and 1 strike. So a run in, a runner on, 1 away. Bubb, the second baseman, number 8 hitter, right-hand batter, will have to wait as we get a throw over to first. Fry back in on the dive, getting that white uniform a little brown and dirty. The gray pants with the gold jersey tops for Moorefield. Hedgesville, white pants and white jersey tops. Here's a strike on the inside corner as the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes to Bubb. Good pitch that time from Moran.
Yeah, good pitch for Bubb to take. He would not be able to do anything with that pitch low and inside, so good job just to let that one get back to the catcher.
Now that 1-2 pitch works low, went outside. Hours able to grab that one, and it is 2-2.
Good backhanded stab by Hours, keeping Ryan Fry standing on first base.
Caleb Brown in the on-deck circle. Now that 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a pop-up foul, back out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. That one out over top of the bleachers. Off to our right. That's off the first base side behind the backstop.
A good at-bat just to stay alive for Tyler Bubbs. That one probably was going to be ball 3. But anything close, you got to protect, and that's just what he did.
He swings, pops it up shallow center field. Second baseman going out, center fielder coming in. It's going to drop for a base hit. Bub got that one out off the end of the bat, but muscled it into shallow center field. Fry will stop at second. Bub aboard at first. 2 on with just 1 out and a run in the inning. It brings up the number 9 hitter, Caleb Brown.
Something we usually don't say about Hedgesville is that they are doing it. They're playing small ball right now, a bunch of singles. Usually they're the team you're talking about hitting doubles into the gaps and hitting home runs. Is looking at their roster, 2 guys have hit 5. Hunter Coe's hit 4. So a team that's going to hit with some power right now, doing it playing small ball.
Yep, 3 singles and a fielder's choice have plated a run. With 1 out and 2 on, Caleb Brown takes low and outside, ball 1. Brown, starting left fielder. One of 5 juniors in this starting lineup for Hedgesville. 4 seniors, 1 sophomore. Pitch down and in, goes through to the backstop. That will be ball 2 to Brown, and on the wild pitch, runners will advance as Fry goes to third and Bub to second. So a pass ball in the inning, and now a wild pitch in the inning. 2 more in scoring position for Brown, who's got 6 runs batted in on the season. Swings at the 2-0, lines it foul off the third base side. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Sent it foul with some authority. Got a good piece of metal on it, just unfortunately couldn't get that one between the lines.
That went up towards the hill where Marco has the camera. I guess everything is okay for him. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. Here it comes. On the outside corner, a called strike 2. Good pitch from Moran as the count evens.
Yeah, pitch with a little bit of break on it, some late movement. And just caught that outer third. It finished about belt high. But a good placement if he can live there. Pitch is going to start in the opposite batter's box and just work its way in.
2-2 delivery. Tries that pitch again that starts outside, but this one too far out as it broke back in towards the plate. It went around that outside corner, and that's ball 3. And this becomes a very important pitch for Moran. With just 1 out and 2 on and Chase DeLauder in the on-deck circle, you want to go after the number 9 hitter, and he does. Fastball on the outside corner, and Caleb Brown is caught looking for the second out of the inning.
Again, it's a good place to live. Caleb Brown doesn't necessarily stand that far off the plate, but isn't crowding it. So that pitch that's off the plate is going to look further away than it actually is, and I think Brown a little frustrated with himself as a quick little hop and spin as he went back into the dugout. Now 2 down here in the bottom of inning number 2, and they'll intentionally walk Chase DeLauder.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if we would see it, and we do. No pitches need to be thrown on the high school level. Just the message from the manager or head coach Wade Armentrout to our plate umpire Brian Collins, and DeLauder will take first. The bases are loaded. It brings up Josh Rush, and the first pitch to him, a strike on the outside corner. So 2 outs, bases loaded, a run already in with Hedgesville in front. 1-0 in this bottom of the second.
You don't think they wanted to pitch to a guy that's batting .563 coming into today's game?
Next delivery missing outside for ball 1, 1-1. Or do you walk him and face Josh Rush, who's hitting .350 right now?
A modest .350.
He had a single, that was first time up, remember? Grounded it sharply between third and short. Swings and bounces this one again in the hole, cut off by the third baseman. Baldwin with that throw to first and in time to get him. And the strategy works as the ground out 5-3 ends the inning without any further damage.
Hedgesville does play to run in the inning. It was a RBI fielder's choice ground out by Ryan Fry. Coming around to score was Thomas Butka after he courtesy ran for Parker Martin. So Hedgesville will take a 1-0 lead into the third.
It was that leadoff single for Parker Martin that got it all started. 3 singles in all in the inning, leading to a Hedgesville lead. Headed to the third when we come back. It's Hedgesville 1, Moorefield 0.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your four-state roofing solution, reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
1-0 Hedgesville as we go to the top half of the third inning. As always, our trivia inning brought to you by the Hagerstown Sons and Haas's Steak and Sea in the Aiken Center on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, for a great meal at a great price, stop by Haas's Steak and Sea, where your family wants to eat. First pitch of the top of the third to Isaac Van Meter, down low for ball one. Parker Martin through 2 innings. We've got him at 40 pitches, 20 of those. 4 strikes, is not allowed to run, has given up 2 base hits. Bounces this one out in front of the plate. Counted 2 balls and no strikes to Van Meter, who drew a walk back in the first, and as Brady Weaver going to walk the baseball out to the pitcher. We'll talk a little bit about our trivia inning. In this half inning, we will present a trivia question and the station telephone number. First to call and get through to Caleb Valero back at the studio, picking up our prize package. It's 4 tickets to a future Hagerstown Sons minor league baseball game, along with $30 in gift certificates to Haas's Steak and Sea. So go out and enjoy dinner, and then go enjoy a ball game. The Suns actually got to the 4th inning last night and then got suspended by rain and thunderstorms that blew through Hagerstown. Took a while before any of that got our direction, and I'm glad, as we were outside at Jefferson yesterday. Well, back to action as Van Meter stands in, takes down low and away, 3 balls, no strikes. So Weaver's conference with Martin didn't work. Next pitch, missing low and away again, and it's a 4-pitch base on balls, and Van Meter has walked for a second time today. His 14th walk now on the season.
Parker Martin came into today's game. He had walked 10 on the season and now has a walk in each inning so far. So he's gone from 10 to 13 and rolling in the 3rd inning here. So struggling with control in this one, but has managed to pitch his way out of a couple different jams. He's not allowed to run to cross the plate yet for Moorefield.
Well, this is the first time that the leadoff batter has reached. Let's see if Moorefield can bring him around as Hayden Baldwin takes strike 1. Baldwin, the sophomore third baseman and number 3 hitter, 0 for 1, popped out to the pitcher his first time up. Swings and lines it sharply, a low bouncer to Rush at third. He knocks it down, picks it up, and still has time to throw Baldwin out at first. Van Meter does advance to second base on the play. Put a little star by that one. And it was a sinking liner that Josh Rush did a great job to stay in front of. Got that little in-between hop that he was just able to knock down, keep the ball in front of him, and then make a good throw.
And that ball's hit anywhere but where it is off the bat of Baldwin. That's into left field for a single. Hey, I think if Josh Rush has to move to his left or right, that ball was hit so sharply, I'm not sure he gets it.
That's why they call it the hot corner, right? Tying run in scoring position now for Lane Hours. Starting catcher, cleanup hitter takes high and away for ball 1. He is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center his first time up. See if we can get our trivia question out there with him at the plate. 1-0 on the way. He swings, bounces it foul. Third base side. Count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here is today's 3rd inning trivia question. What famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to today's date in 1902? What famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to today's date in 1902? 1-1 pitch up and away, 2 balls and a strike to Lane Hours. 304-263-6540 is the station telephone number. 304-263-6540. Be the first to call and get through with the correct answer to pick up today's prize package. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike now, 2-2 to Lane Hours.
Got my gears turning.
That's a good sign, I think.
Doesn't take much, but you got me thinking on this one.
Runner at second with his lead is the 2-2 pitch, fouled out of play down the right field line. Count holding 2-2 to Hours. Again, what famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to today's date in 1902? 304-263-6540, the station phone number. Call in with the correct answer to win those Suns tickets and Haas's gift certificates. Sowers takes the 2-2 up and away. It's a full count, 3-2. Martin again getting that pitch count up a little bit as he has gone to 3 balls on a number of batters so far in this one. Right-hander delivers in the 3-2, hit high into the air on the left side of the infield where the shortstop, Kyle West, will make the play. Moving a little bit to his right and then backpedaling a few steps out into the outfield grass. He catches that one for the second out, and Van Meter has to hold at second base.
2 down now here. Runner still at second base is Isaac Van Meter. You mentioned that pitch count going up. We have him well above 50 pitches now as he's just through 2 2/3. So if he's going to try to make it a long haul in this one, he's going to have to figure out how to be more efficient on the mound and try to pound the strike zone a little more.
Brings up Matthew Jenkins, first pitch swinging. He pops it back over top of the press box and out of play for strike one. Jenkins 0 for 1. He had a pop out to the pitcher his first time up. That one he got jammed a little bit and popped it down the third baseline. That was that other nice play from Parker Martin. Well, check swing as Jenkins was fooled by the 0-1. He went through the zone and the pitch was down the middle. Either way, it's 0-2.
You could tell he thought that pitch was going to come inside just by the way he kind of turned. His body looked like he thought it was going to jam him a little bit. Like you said, ended up right down the heart of the plate.
That 0-2 goes all the way through to the backstop, bounces off of that concrete backstop and out to first baseman Jamison Matthew, who comes in to scoop it up near the line and hold the runner to just one base as Isaac Van Meter goes to third on the play.
Wild pitch down the first base line. Literally looked like a slow ground ball to Jamison Matthew coming off the backstop, a brick backstop here at Eagle Park.
What's the famous line from Bull Durham of hitting the bull, right?
Yep.
That's what that pitch looked like.
Yep.
Except no bull to hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jenkins. Tying run 90 feet away as he turns on the 1-2 pitch, bounces it foul third base side. Count holding at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Van Meter, the runner at third. Hedgesville with a 1-0 lead. Moorefield batting top half of inning number 3. Caleb Falero will let us know once we have a third inning trivia winner. Since it seems we do not have one yet, we'll keep it going as we go to the bottom of the third. 1-2 pitch, and it's a ground ball towards the third baseman. Rush has this one, and that throw to first. Nice dig by Jamison Matthew as he caught that one right off the top of the dirt to retire Jenkins.
Yeah, and Rush took a couple shuffles over to first base for letting that one go and had to, no pun intended, but rushed that throw over there after a relatively routine ground ball hit to him. But does get it over there. No runs crossed. A runner stranded at third for Moorefield as we'll head to the bottom of inning number 3.
Yeah, 5 base runners stranded in their first 3 at-bats, and 3 of those left in scoring position. As a result, as we go to the bottom of the third, the score remains Hedgesville 1 and Moorefield 0.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I'm beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We're going to go to the bottom half of inning number 3, our trivia inning. It looks like we still do not have a winner, so let's give out that trivia question one more time. We ask what famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to 1902. 304-263-6540, the station telephone number. Be the first to call and get through to Caleb Falero with that correct answer. Pick up those Suns tickets as well as the Haas's gift certificates. Hunter Coe standing in, bottom of the third, getting underway. Pitch missing inside for ball 1. We have a special guest joining us here during this half inning. Emily Roberts from here at Hedgesville High School. Special night to help support her and her family going through a tough battle, and we may get her to do some play-by-play. She said she took some broadcasting classes here. No, you don't want to do that?
Not play-by-play.
Co takes the next one, 2 balls and no strikes, and that 2-0 pitch fouled out of play down the right field line now, 2-1. Emily, talk to us about the experience. What has this been like that you've been battling through?
It started about a year ago, and I just woke up with like a million bruises, and I had no idea what it was. So I went to the hospital, and at first they diagnosed me with ITP, which is low platelets. But then the next day we went back, and it was a lot worse than that. So they shipped me up to Children's, and since then it's been a battle.
3-1 now. The count is that 2-1 pitch missing outside to Coe. Next delivery, cue ball off the end of his bat, rolling up the first baseline. The first baseman has it. Quick shuffle to the pitcher, covering, and not in time. Hunter Coe was able to leg it out. Brent Moran getting there just as the runner got there. Blake Watts getting to that one and giving that quick backhand toss, but Coe will reach on the infield base hit.
Such a tough play to make in between the first baseman and the pitcher. Really nobody can get a good read on that, and both think it's probably their ball at the end of the day, and a good job out of the box, hustling by Hunter Coe.
So the leadoff batter reaches for Brady Weaver. Emily, what was that like for you? I mean, it seems it came completely out of the blue. What's going through your mind as you found out what was really happening?
The first thing I thought about was the fact that I'd probably have to stop volleyball, and that's been my life since I was in 3rd grade. So that was probably the hardest part. But all the support that I've gotten from my boyfriend Tyler Bubb and my family and my teammates have supported me so much. So they've made it a lot easier.
Quick toss over to first. Coe back in. He stretches out a pretty good lead as Weaver swings, sends this one deep into right field. Mongold going back, not going to get to this one. It's over his head. He'll play it on a bounce right before the warning track. Brady Weaver making that turn, heading for third. Turning third and heading to the plate. Scoring is Hunter Coe. The throw too late at third base as Weaver is there with the RBI triple. His 20th run batted in on the year. It's 2-0 Hedgesville.
And you just saw the youth of Coleman Mangold in right field. Never got a good reel on that ball, but a phenomenally hit ball by Brady Weaver, a one bouncing the fence. Then you saw the arm strength that Mangold just doesn't quite have yet, and no play at the plate as they were trying to get Brady Weaver, but again, he's in safe at third with an RBI triple.
So another run just 90 feet away for Parker Martin, a 2-0 Hedgesville lead. Brent Moran on the hill ready to go, and Martin takes this pitch up and away. We're talking with Emily Roberts. You said a little over a year you've been dealing with this.
Yes, sir. I was diagnosed June, around the end of June, and I finally got my bone marrow transplant on November 15th.
1-0 delivery due. Here it comes. Swing and a miss now, 1-1 to Parker Martin. What was that experience like? I heard in the announcements early on that a donor was found. You didn't even know who this person was.
No, sir. They tested me for all my siblings first because those are the best chances you have. But then they checked in the registry and they found 3 matches that could possibly match me, and they picked the best one.
Swinging away, Parker Martin on the 1-1, loops one out into shallow right field, easily scoring Brady Weaver from third base, and then with a quick heads-up play, Martin makes his turn and heads towards second and is able to get there before Mongold, the right fielder, could get to the ball and get the throw over. So it'll be a run batted in. I'm looking at probably a hustle double, or is it a single and an error?
Mongold had some issues with it in right field. He got to the ball in plenty of time, as we will. Looks like we're going to have a defensive substitution. Coming in will be number 10, Grant Keller.
Had been
DHing, so it'll be just a clean swap as Coleman Mongold, the freshman, having some issues out in right field.
How have things gone since that bone marrow transplant? Has that done exactly what the doctors were hoping?
Pretty much. My counts are still back and forth, but we've switched lots of meds, and they started looking up until I got this graft versus host by going and sitting out and watching the baseball games. So now it's just another hill to jump over top of and defeat.
Where do you get that strength to battle through this?
God and my family. They've definitely given me the most strength.
Kyle West to the plate. The left-hand batter swinging at the first pitch, grounds it slowly towards the second baseman. Williams in on it, scoops it and makes that throw to first. West will ground out 4-3. It will be the first out of the inning, and Thomas Budka, serving again as the courtesy runner, takes the base from second to third.
All right, high school is hard enough. But with that, adding all of this stuff into it, what has school been like? I know you said homebound at one point. When were you able to come back to school, if ever, since then?
I was supposed to be able to come back after 6 months, but since my counts are still iffy, I'm still not allowed to, but I'm allowed to go to prom and I'm allowed to graduate as long as I finish my stuff on time.
Ryan Fry standing in, taking the first pitch for a strike. Next delivery down and in, count 1-1. We are in the bottom of the third inning. Now a 3-0 lead for Hedgesville. An RBI triple from Brady Weaver. RBI single for Parker Martin in this half inning. A runner at third base with one out as Fry fouls the 1-1 back to the screen. What does a night like this mean to you? You mentioned earlier the support that you've gotten from your family and from your friends, your volleyball team, and so forth. How much?
Oh, it's amazing to think about, like all the people that have came out, and they went to sell T-shirts and they sold them at school today. They were supposed to sell them today too, but they were all sold out.
Well, a one hopper right back to the pitcher. Moran turned and looked towards first, but his teammates begin to holler, and he'll turn and throw to the plate as Lane Hours pulls it in and applies the tag to Thomas Budka, who had broke towards the plate virtually on contact, and the out at the plate will be the second out of the inning, and Moorefield able to keep a run off the board.
Not necessarily heads-up base running by Thomas Budka, but not a whole lot of pitchers are going to be able to have that awareness. And you mentioned his teammates, Blake Watts at first base, making sure he went to the plate. So an unfortunate base running error by Budka.
Now it brings up Tyler Bubb, and the first pitch to him up and in. Special at bat right here, huh? That is a young guy that's given you a lot of support through all this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Every second.
The 1-0 on the way. That one on the outside corner, 1-1. You threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Was it awkward to have him back there trying to make the catch on that one?
No, but it was, once I walked out and saw everyone looking at me, my legs were kind of shaking, so I got a little nervous.
Wasn't a bad pitch down and into a left-hand batter. You'd have probably got him to swing right over top of it.
Yeah, better than Tyler can do, so.
This one hitting the outside corner at the knees, and the count now at 1-2 strikes. 2 down in the inning with a runner at first base. A couple of runs in as Hedgesville leads 3-0. This pitch down in the dirt bounces out in front of the plate off the chest protector of the catcher. Quickly to his feet. Hours will throw to second, but not in time. Heads up base running is Fry. Will move up on the wild pitch. Count now 2 2 strikes. What is it the folks can do to kind of support you and your family right now?
Right now we just ask for prayers, and that's pretty much it. Everything else, I guess, is up to me and the doctors.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us, and we are keeping you in our prayers as you continue to battle through this.
Thank you so much.
Well, the pitch missing on the 2-2 now at 3 2 strikes. The payoff to Bubb, and he swings and grounds it towards the second baseman. Williams charging, scoops, throws on to first, and in time to get him. Bubb will ground out 4-3. It'll bring the inning to a close, but a couple of runs do cross as Hedgesville adds to the lead. 2 runs scoring on 3 base hits. The big blows, the RBI triple from Brady Weaver, and the RBI single from Parker Martin. We'll go to the 4th when we come back with Hedgesville on top of Moorefield, 3-0.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
We'll go to the fourth inning here at Eagle Field, and apparently we have thrown out a trivia question that is harder than our average trivia question. Nothing yet from Caleb Falero to say we have a winner. So we're going to throw it out one more time to start the top of the fourth inning. If we do not get a winner by the end of the fourth inning, we'll hold on to the prizes for our next game broadcast. So let's listen one more time. What famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to today's date in 1902? 304-263-6540, 304-263-6540. Call Caleb with the correct answer and win our Sons and Hosses prize package. Well, the first pitch to Grant Keller, he's going to fly that one into left at center field. Run down by Chase DeLauder for out number one, and Moorefield jumping right on the first pitches now from Parker Martin, wasting little time, at least in certain at-bats. I'm now ready to turn the play-by-play over to Matt Crawford as we continue here in the fourth.
You just had to get that one last pitch in, didn't you?
Yeah, he swung and put it in play.
Well, the way Parker Martin's been throwing, it's amazing. They're swinging at the first pitch.
That's it.
A swing and a miss now as Derek Hoyt steps in as the second batter of this inning. Swung and missed today. High ball, or a ball that was out of the zone.
We would now have that as 60 pitches for Parker Martin.
Here's a ground ball to the right side. Jameson Matthew. Nice backhand, but leaves the ball where he got it. So safe at first will be Derek Hoyt on the E3. A good backhanded stab by Jameson Matthew, but I think it just popped out of his glove, and he assumed it was still in his glove and went back. It was still laying in the dirt right where he took the backhanded stab. So a runner on base now is Derek Hoyt at first base on the E3.
Yeah, you could see from our angle that he hit right in the webbing of the glove, and as he squeezed it, he thought that he had it as he made his way towards first and then realized, whoa, wait a minute, ball's not there, as it was still sitting on the dirt.
Blake Watts now steps in, the righty. Takes a ball low and away. Good backhanded stop by Brady Weaver. Count now 1-0.
It's a tough break there for Jameson Matthew.
It was a great play. Good backhanded stop. Just didn't squeeze the glove. Watts, a single back in the second inning as he waits that 1-0. That one low and in there. It bounces again. A good block by Brady Weaver. Count now 2-0.
And he's come up both times looking behind Hoyt down at first base. So Hoyt needs to be careful as he stretches out that secondary lead. Not a big lead right now.
Parker Martin comes set. Ready to deliver that 2-0. That one catches the outside corner for strike one.
Well, Martin has battled, if you will. No strikeouts in this one. 3 base on balls allowed. Has given up just 2 base hits.
Here comes the 2-1. That one, identical location to the 2-1 pitch, or the 2-0 pitch, rather. Now the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a good battle back for Parker Martin within this at-bat with a runner standing on first base. Count even at 2-2. Here's that 2-2 pitch. That one low and away. And a good job of keeping it in front of him for Brady Weaver, dropping to his knees and just making sure he used that chest protector to keep that ball in front of him and keep the runner Derek Hoyt standing at first base. Hoyt getting a pretty big lead at first base now. No checks over yet as he takes about another half step. Now here's that 3-2. He's off to second. It's going to be ball 4 anyway, so no play at second base. So a base on balls for Blake Watts.
Well, second time Watts drew a count to 3-2. He singled to center, a sharp ball that went right in behind Hunter Martin back in that second inning, and now this time worked that count full and drew the 4th walk of the day for Parker Martin.
And we mentioned it back in the third. 10 walks coming into the game, now up to 14. With 4 in this game, 1 in each inning so far. Brings up Thomas Williams, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. And Williams drives one to left field. Coming in on it is Caleb Brown. He will let it bounce in front of him. Coming around second base is Derek Hoyt, and he will be in to score, sliding in safe. No play at the plate. So Moorefield gets their first run to cross. It is Derek Hoyt from second on an RBI single into left field from Thomas Williams.
7th run batted in now for Williams as he picks up his 18th hit on the season. And the number 9 spot in the order has now reached both times. In fact, look at the 8 and 9 spots in the order. Each has now singled and walked and been on base all 4 times they've been up.
That hit moved Blake Watts to second base where that ball was hit. Did not allow him to advance to third. Score now Hedgesville 3, Moorefield 1. As we're back to the top of the order, it's Brent Moran. As he takes ball 1 outside.
Now Moran looking for his first hit. If you're Kyle West, you better be on the balls of your feet waiting on this one. There's been a ground out 6-3 and a fielder's choice ground ball 6-4. Both times he's been up.
One out here in the top of inning number 4. Here comes that 1-0 to Moran. That one low and away gets by Brady Weaver, and the runners will advance. Moving to third base is Blake Watts. Thomas Williams will advance to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position as Brent Moran, today's starting pitcher for the Yellow Jackets, is ahead in the count.
And now the tying runs in scoring position. Let's see if Moorefield can come up with a clutch hit. They left the bases loaded back in that second inning. They were at that point in the game in a 0-0 tie. In the third inning, they left that tying run at third base, down 1-0.
A 2-0 low and away in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes as the corner's now playing in. Jameson Matthew playing inside that first base line, or inside the first base bag, as is Josh Rush at third base. Now comes that 3-0. That one away, ball 4. So a walk on 4 pitches for Brent Moran. And it looks like we will have another mound visit.
Yeah, for whatever reason, looks like Parker Martin just kind of losing a little bit of that intensity level, that focus, and so that will bring Derek Snyder out again. So we do have a winner. Mike Ring from Martinsburg had the answer to our third inning trivia. Let's get to it with the conference on the mound. What famous minor league baseball city can trace its team roots all the way back to today's date, actually, in 1902? And the answer is?
I have 2 in mind.
Okay.
One is Richmond.
All right.
And the second one is Durham.
So which one are you going with?
I'm going with Richmond.
Durham, North Carolina.
Is it really?
Should have gone with your second one. Yes. Professional baseball got its start in Durham as the tobacconist.
It's a fun name to say and print on the front of a jersey.
11 years later, they changed it to the Durham Bulls. And outside of a 10-year span from 1971 to 1980, when the city did not have minor league baseball, they have been the Durham tobacconist/Bulls since 1902.
The first pitch to number 2 batter, Isaac Van Meter, low in the dirt for ball 1, and I should get partial credit for getting that one. Here comes the 1-0 chopper down the third base line. We're going to have a play at the plate. Bub has to block it. It was a low throw from Josh Rush, and that's going to score a run on the E6. Rush had it quickly and just forced the throw when he didn't need to. I think trying to get it quickly to Brady Weaver, hoping it could be a double play opportunity down at first. But unfortunately, that one low in the dirt, and a good job by Brady Weaver just to block that and keep it in front of him. But another run that does cross the plate. This one was Blake Watts. Now 3-2, just a 1-run ball game. Moving up to third is Thomas Williams. To second is Brent Moran. As now we have a dribbler that's going to go foul about 3 feet to the right of home plate. And standing on first is Isaac Van Meter. So the bases still remain loaded, 3-2. Hedgesville in front by 1. So we're in the top of inning number 4. Both of the Yellow Jacket runs for Moorefield have come here in the top of inning number 4.
One more quick note on Durham, North Carolina. On today's date, back in 1902, they played an exhibition game against Trinity College.
The 0-1 catches the outside third, about belt high.
Second trivia question. What is Trinity College known as now?
Duke.
There it is, Duke University.
There's only one college in Durham, North Carolina.
So then I'll give you credit.
The 0-2 to ball one is popped up in foul territory. Brady Weaver pops up, and he's going to get it about 15 feet up the line in foul territory for out number 2. Good heads up, a baseball by Brady Weaver behind the plate.
On good help from Parker Martin, the pitcher coming down off the mound, giving some help and some instruction there to Brady Weaver, letting him know where he was in relation to the line and to the bat that was laying not too far from him as the batter drops that bat on the way down to first base. So a good communication and a nice play by Brady Weaver.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter Lane Hours, today's starting catcher for Moorefield. First pitch to him, a little below the knees for ball 1. The first out of this inning came on one pitch. It was a fly out to center field for Grant Keller. And then it was 6 batters actually, before out number 2. 2 runs scored in that process. We have the ball lifted into left field. Going back on it is Caleb Brown. Having a little bit of trouble with it, but he'll camp underneath it for out number 3. So 2 runs do cross for Moorefield. Helped a little bit by a couple errors in the inning. And we'll go to the bottom of inning number 4. It's Hedgesville 3, Moorefield 2.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Bottom of inning number 4, it's Moorefield 2, Hedgesville 3. Moorefield getting their 2 runs in the top of inning number 4, just courtesy of a couple errors. Derek Hort reached on a ball hit to the right side. Jameson Matthew just left the ball where he stood, thought he had it in his glove, and just never quite brought it in. That followed by a walk by Blake Watson, an RBI single into left field for Thomas Williams. Another walk to the leadoff hitter Brent Moran, and then a error on the throw towards the plate with the bases loaded by Josh Rush. Outscore run number 2, then back-to-back outs by Hayden Baldwin and Lane Hours. The 3 runs for Hedgesville, 2 in the bottom of inning number 3. RBI by Brady Weaver on the triple after Hunter Coe led off the inning with a single, and then a single that would score Brady Weaver by Parker Martin. Their first run came in the 2nd inning when there was an RBI fielder's choice ground out by Ryan Fry that would score Thomas Budka, the courtesy runner for today's starting pitcher for Hedgesville, Parker Martin. We'll start in the number 9 spot in the order here in the bottom of inning number 4. It'll be Caleb Brown, the left-hander stepping in. Brent Moran still on the mound as the first pitch to Caleb Brown misses low and inside for ball 1.
Brown 0 for 1, went down looking at a 3-2 pitch back in that 2nd inning. Trying to be a starter here for Chase DeLauder in the top of the order.
Here comes that 1-0. This one jammed him. He's going to drive it to the left side. A good backhanded stab, barehanded by Brent Moran, and he's able to make the throw over to Blake Watson first for out number 1. That is a dangerous play for a pitcher to stick your hand out on a ball moving that quickly on the chopper back up the middle to the left side. But a great job by Brent Moran to retire Caleb Brown for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, no ill effects as he really couldn't get the glove hand over there, and so the natural reaction, he just threw the bare hand out there to try to knock it down and did just that. Stayed with it and made the throw to first.
Back to the top of the order now. Chase DeLauder takes the first pitch he sees low and inside for ball 1. And again, I got to give some credit to the pitchers today on both sides for fielding their positions very, very well. Here comes the 1-0 to DeLauder. That one a strike on the outside corner. Count now even at 1-1.
DeLauder 0 for 1 is popped out to third. That came in the 1st inning, and the 2nd was intentionally walked with first base open and 2 on.
Ran out of the windup, ready to deliver that 1-1. This one, a breaking ball low and inside, ball 2.
Go back to that decision for the intentional walk. It paid off for head coach Wade Armentrout and his coaching staff as Josh Rush, then with the bases loaded and 2 outs, grounded out 5-3 to end the inning.
DeLauder steps back in. Again, the left-hander waiting for that pitch, and he drives it to the right side. That's going to be a single into right field, getting past the outstretched glove of second baseman Thomas Williams. Coming in with it is Grant Keller, and a single for Chase DeLauder, his first hit of this ballgame. Again, the leadoff hitter and reigning state player of the year, batting .563 coming into this ballgame.
Have not seen many guys this season where the ball just jumps off the bat, quite like DeLauder.
That'll bring up our number 2 hitter, Josh Rush. He'll drive that one into shallow right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Having a little bit of trouble with it is Grant Keller. That's going to move Chase DeLauder to third base. Trying for second now is Rush, but he will be thrown out at second base. Tried to gain a bag on the throw to third base, as there was an attempt to get DeLauder, but Rush just a little too eager, as he will be thrown out at second base following the single.
Yeah, that out is going to go 9-5-6 Yeah, the second baseman setting up to be the cutoff man, and after almost having it go by him, Keller out in right made a strong throw to third, and then a nice play by the third baseman Baldwin to throw the strike to second in time to get Rush, who will get a single and then be thrown out trying to stretch it for the extra base.
Hunter Coe takes strike one, as he's got a runner just 90 feet away. That would be run number 4 for Hedgesville. Here comes that 0-1, a check swing and a good hold by Hunter Coe, as that one apparently missed a little high and possibly a bit outside.
Coe 1 for 2, a fly out to right in the first, an infield single and a run scored in the third. Counted a ball and a strike. Coe wanted to make sure of that with our plate umpire Brian Collins before stepping back in.
Here comes that 1-1 from Moran. That one a strike at the knees. Hunter Coe in this game is singled back in the third, would come around to score a run. Would come in off after the triple from Brady Weaver, and he flied out to right field. Back in the first. He's set, and now Moran is set, ready to deliver that 1-2. Here it is, and a check swing. He did go around at the plate, so it's going to be a strikeout of Hunter Coe to end the inning. Chase Lauder will be stranded at third base, and we'll head to the top of inning number 5. It is still Hedgesville 3, Moorefield 2.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 south in Chambersburg.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
Thomas Butka, the new pitcher for Hedgesville, relieving Parker Martin, who is going to go 4 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, no strikeouts, and a bad day walk-wise for him. He walked 5. So came in, only walked 10 batters on the season, and is down to 15 after 4 innings of work today, and that pitch count is already up to 79 as Butka takes the mound for his warm-up pitches. And moving to second base will be Parker Martin.
Well, for Butka, it'll be his 9th appearance. He does have 1 start this season, an 0-1 record with a 4.94 ERA in 11 1/3 innings. Has given up 9 runs, 8 earned on 9 hits. Has struck out 10, but has walked 12. So control has been the issue for Thomas Butka.
Butko coming here in the top of inning number 5 in a tight ball game. Moorefield scored 2 in the top of inning number 4, and they're just now 1 run behind the home Hedgesville Eagles as we head to the top of inning number 5. Pitching change brought to you by Paris Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Need an oil change or a complete overhaul? They do it all. For your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Paris Repair. Phone 304-262-0208. Leading him off will be Matthew Jenkins. He steps in with that open stance and takes ball 1 high and outside. Jenkins 0 for 2 on the day. Had he pop out to Parker Martin to the left of the mound and grounded out to third base. The 1-0 catches the strike zone on the inside corner. The count even at 1-1.
Some good zip on that fastball from Butka. Left-hander working from the third base side of the pitching rubber.
Ground ball down the left side. A backhanded stab by Josh Rush. He's going to have to make a good throw and does. Jameson Matthew comes up, but not sure if he came off the bag or just a bang-bang play that's going to go to the runner. Either way, it's going to be Matthew Jenkins safe at first base. I saw Jameson Matthews' heel come up, but not sure if they're going to call that on him coming off the bag. Didn't see any signal, so I'm guessing it's just a bang-bang play at first that went to the runner.
Yeah, I'm going for an E5 on that. When he comes up with the ball but took too much time to get that ball across there. Don't know whether he just had trouble with the grip, but you could see the double, almost triple clutch, and then that throw sailed on him. And I believe it actually pulled Jamison Matthew off the bag.
Grant Keller, the batter, takes ball one low and away. Keller in the game today, a single. Back in inning number 2 and flat out to center field. Back in the third as the 1-0 in for strike one.
I was just going to say, either way, the leadoff batter has reached in a key situation here for Moorefield, down by a run. I wondered if we would see Keller trying to advance the runner, but so far no sign of that.
1-1 strikes. Here comes the 1-1. Turned and looked like he was going to bunt for a second, but then pulled back, did Keller. Almost just looked like a show bunt opportunity. With the 1-1 count, he pulls back. It is a strike on the outside corner. Now to count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, if he was going to bunt, needed to push that one up that third base line.
Didn't look overly eager to bunt. Pulling around there. Here's the 1-2. That one misses low and away for ball 2. Standing at first base is Matthew Jenkins.
Just thinking middle part of the game here, really working our way to the latter part of the game. 3 at-bats left. You know, if you may try to push that tying run into scoring position.
The 2-2, that one low and away. Brady Weaver thought he had it in his glove. Went to go grab it, realized it had rolled about 3 feet behind him. But Jenkins stays put at first base. Weaver grabs the ball, is able to toss it back. No harm, no foul, but the count does run full to Grant Keller. The left-handed Butka comes set. Here comes the 3-2 runner in motion. It will not matter. It'll be ball 4 to Grant Keller. 2 runners on to start the top of inning number 5. The air put Matthew Jenkins on, and now the walk on the full count is going to put Grant Keller on, bringing up Derek Hoyt.
Well, no doubt about it. Moorefield has had base runners. They have stranded 8 through their first 4 at-bats and have left 5 of those 8 in scoring position at either second or third. And here they are with runners at first and second and nobody out.
I would expect a bunt here from Derek Hoyt as he does square around. He's going to push up the first base line, but foul. That'll be strike 1. Hoyt again came in without an at-bat. And zeros across the board when it came to on-base percentage and batting average. And so far is 0 for 2 on the day. Has reached both times, though. Once on a fielder's choice in the second. That went 4-6 and reached on an air. That was the ball that Jamison Matthew left when he was fielding. Square on to bunt again, and a miss on the bunt attempt for Derek Hoyt. Now to count 0-2.
Just not a great effort there on that particular bunt. Was way out in front. Has to let the ball come to him.
Here comes that 0-2. We'll see another bunt attempt. That's going to go right back to the pitcher. Butka has it. Doesn't have a play at any other base, but wheeling around for the out is Parker Martin as the second baseman rolls around to first on the wheel for out number 1. But a good job by Derek Hoyt as he does move both runners up into scoring position.
Hey, give it to Coach Armentrout. The bunt not successful on the first 2 attempts. Even though the risk is there, you bunt that foul, and that becomes a 3rd strike. He says, hey, I want the bunt down. Puts a little pressure on his man, but Hoyt got it done.
And that is a tall task for a guy who doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Blake Watts now steps in. He has a single and a walk. Also a run scored so far as he fouls this one off behind home plate, out of play.
A good job by Hoyt, and now you've got the tying run 90 feet away and that go-ahead run in scoring position. And you've got 2 guys that have been hot. Watts out of the 8 spot, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk, and Williams out of the number 9 spot, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk.
Here comes that 0-1 to Watts. This one, a dribbler back to Butka at the mound. He's going to turn and throw, step over to first. Jamison Matthew brings it in as the runners will have to hold it second and third. Now 2 down in the inning. So after the first 2 reached, and Jenkins and Keller, they've been stranded on so far. Did move up after the sacrifice bunt by Derek Hoyt, but a ground out back to the pitcher for Blake Watts. It'll bring up Thomas Williams in that number 9 spot.
Butka couldn't have asked for anything better. That was a one-hopper right back to him. The runners were going to hold at his second and third. He could turn and make the throw to get the out.
The first pitch to Williams, high and inside, and staying at third base will be Matthew Jenkins. As didn't get far enough away from Brady Weaver. A relatively short backstop here at Eagle Field, so it's got to get all the way back.
Ellen,
if you're going to try to score.
He didn't have a good a good break on it either. And if you don't break right away, if you don't see it and make your decision and go, best advised not to go.
Butker delivers that 1-0. That one misses outside for ball 2. Thomas Williams, an RBI single back in the 4th, and also drew a walk back in inning number 2. So look at those 8-9 batters, Matt.
Yep.
Each have drawn a walk and each have a single. That's why you put guys with good averages in those 8 and 9 spots. The 2-0 low and away to Williams. He's now ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes.
He's already walked once, which gives him 11 walks on the season. So Williams has shown he's got a good eye, and he'll be patient at the plate.
Butker comes set. And ready to deliver that 3-0. That one misses outside, so a walk on 4 pitches for Thomas Williams, and the base is loaded as we'll go back to the top of the order. And pitcher Brent Moran will step in.
Walks really becoming an issue. You mentioned the 5 for Parker Martin in the start. That's 2 walks now in this half inning. Add in the error, and Moorefield has the bases loaded with 2 outs. They haven't had a hit yet.
The first pitch to Moran. That one a strike on the inside corner. Moran, a walk back in inning number 4, would ground into an inning-ending fielder's choice. Back in the second, that would strand the bases loaded. So once again, he is up with the bases loaded, and a key opportunity here is Moorefield down by just 1 here in the top of inning number 5, 3-2. Woodke out of the windup. Ready for that 0-1. A check swing at the plate that gets away from Brady Weaver and goes halfway up the third base line. Runners will all stay put, as didn't get a signal on whether the batter checked, as we're going to have 1-1, as apparently he did go around, so the count now even, or did not go around, the count even at a 1-1. So a good job checking his swing was Brent Moran at the plate. That 1-1 rip to the left side. That's going to get a past a diving Kyle Weston into left field. 1 run is going to score. The second is going to score, and Moorefield will take the lead as the ball gets by Brady Weaver. And moving up to third base, we're going to have a play down there, but in safely at first base is going to be Thomas Williams. Moving to second now will be Brent Moran. So fielding an issue on there, but a good hit by Brent Moran as he drove one past the diving Kyle West to score 2. And Hedgesville head coach Eric Grove is now out on the mound for a visit as he looks a little frustrated. The hat is off, and he's definitely a little heat of the bat, maybe the effort by his infield right now.
Well, the clutch 2 RBI single from Moran lifts his RBI total to 12 on the season, puts Moorefield out in front. Now, as you mentioned, by that 4-3 score, and with Hedgesville kind of throwing the ball around a little bit, the error going to advance both base runners, and now you got 2 more in scoring position, where if Isaac Van Meter can find a way to put one in play, get a base hit, reach on an error, even a pass ball or a wild pitch, and the next thing you know, you're down by more than just that 1 run.
Van Meter has drawn 2 walks in the game and reached on an error back in inning number 4. First pitch to him, low in the dirt for ball 1. Good block by Brady Weaver, keeping the runners where they are on the base paths.
There's the issue. Remember yesterday when we heard from John Lowry Sr. talking about the wanting to see or play clean baseball over these last couple of weeks?
The 1-0 to Van Meter, low and inside, ball 2.
And he commented about, clean from the aspect of not committing many errors, but also not putting guys on base. And when you look at this half inning, 1 error and 2 walks lead to an opportunity where the only hit of the inning has now brought in 2 runs.
The 2-0 to Van Meter, that one low and away, ball 3. So apparently whatever motivational speech Coach Grove gave to the infield and Budka isn't quite doing or having the results he was expecting. Count now 3-0 to Isaac Van Meter. Here comes that 3-0. That one, the old automatic in for strike 1.
I'm wondering if Van Meter takes here.
I think at this point, you got to make him throw strikes.
Yeah, as wild as he has been, a couple of walks already. I'm with you.
Here comes that 3-0 from Budka. This one fouled off out of play behind home plate. The count now full at 3-2.
Borderline. May have been high, but more than likely would have been a strike even if he doesn't swing there.
It's now a big pitch coming up for Thomas Budka. 2 runs have come around to score on the RBI single from Brent Moran, helping his own cause as He's on the mound for Moorefield. A ball driven into right field, and I think that one is going to get down. It will pass Hunter Coe in right field. One run's going to come around. The second run is going to come around and hustling to third, but tripping on second base. They may have a play at second. Back in safe is Isaac Van Meters. He was probably going to have a stand-up triple, but tripped on the bag at second base. He will dive back into second, really crawl back into second on that one.
And there you go, a couple of hits in the inning, bringing home those guys that reached without the benefit of a hit, as the leadoff batter that reached on an error, and two of the batters that drew base on balls have now come around to score in the inning.
And a runner still in scoring position, as it looks like we're going to have another pitching change. Is coming in from center field is going to be Chase DeLauder. This pitching change brought to you by Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Need an oil change or a complete overhaul, they do it all. For your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair, phone 304-262-0208. We will have DeLauder getting in his warm-up pitches and give you the defensive changes when we come back after this 1-minute break. It's Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Chase DeLauder on the mound now for Hedgesville, the second pitcher of this inning, as Thomas Budka in relief of Parker Martin. Could not get 3 outs here in the top of inning number 5. 4 runs have come across the score for Moorefield. They now have the lead and have doubled up Hedgesville to score 6-3. Defensive changes. Looks like Hunter Coe has moved to center field, and it looks like Thomas Budcup will move into right field. So no new faces, no new faces from the dugout coming into play, just a couple of defensive changes. As Chase DeLauder going to try to stop the bleeding. Sure it wasn't on the plan for him to pitch today. But right now, they just need anything to slow down the offensive Moorefield and need some good defense behind DeLauder. Hayden Baldwin, the batters, he takes strike 1.
Now batting third baseman number 2, Hayden Baldwin.
DeLauder usually a starter, not a whole lot of relief appearances this year. Here comes the 0-1 to Baldwin. That one misses just a bit outside for ball 1.
Well, we mentioned earlier these two teams kind of going in different directions right now, as Hedgesville has really struggled, went 0 for 4 down at the beach, 5 for 5 in their last 10 games.
Baldwin lifts one into foul territory going over. On it is Jameson Matthew, and he will haul it in foul territory for a much-needed out number 3. So Chase DeLauder comes in, throws 3 pitches, gets that elusive third out after Thomas Budka could not get out of the 5th inning. 4 runs do come across for Moorefield. We will go to the bottom of inning number 5. They lead Hedgesville 6-3.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know,
They know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Welcome back into Eagle Field here in the, I guess you consider this the northern end of Berkeley County. Or I guess it'd be what, the northwestern end? Right about there? I don't know. I need to look
whatever
at a
you want to
compass.
call it.
We're at Hedgesville. It's Moorefield with the 6-3 lead as Hedgesville gave up 4 runs in the top of inning number 5, mostly in part due to some errors, but also some key hitting from the top of the order by Brenton Moran, the 2 RBI single, then Isaac Van Meter, the 2 RBI double. But some throwing errors, some fielding errors at the plate, and 4 runs do come across.
Deuce is wild.
Deuce is
2
wild.
errors, 2 walks, 2 hits in the inning. Put them together and you get what? 4 runs, which is divided by 2.
If you say so. Brady Weaver set to lead it off. The first pitch he sees, he chops down to third base. Baldwin comes up with a throw over to first. Coming off the bag and tagging a Brady Weaver will be Blake Watts. Weaver hits the deck. I think it was more of just a stumble, not on the contact. But 1 pitch and 1 down here in the bottom of inning number 5. So I'm sure not what Coach Grove was expecting. Not a whole lot of discipline at the plate. 1 down as Parker Martin steps in.
Now that one took that very high bounce. Baldwin had to wait for it to come down, and then that throw sailed just a little bit as he put some extra behind it. Nice play by Watts to be able to hang on to it and make the play.
Yeah, Brady Weaver, not the easiest guy to stand in front of as he's charging down the line. Parker Martin takes strike 1. Moran still on the mound for Moorefield. The 0-1 just a bit high for ball 1.
Well, let's get into our high school baseball roundup a little bit here in this 5th inning. And, Matt, we started talking about Hedgesville in that last half inning. 5 wins, 5 losses in their last 10.
Fouled off out of play down the first baseline for Martin, and he's behind in the count 1-2.
Meanwhile, Moorefield, you look at them, and in their last 12 games, 9 wins and 3 losses, and 6 wins in their last 8 games. And, have really been picking up the pace, including a 4-game winning streak in the midst of the 9-3 mark.
1-2 pitch low and away to Parker Martin, gets away from Elaine Hours as he will jog it out to Brent Moran. They will have a quick little conversation. Each will go back to their positions and get set for the 2-2.
Here in this section, Martinsburg right now seems to be that hot team as the Bulldogs come off of a win at home against Hampshire yesterday, 11-2 the final.
The 2-2 to Martin. Strike 3 looking on the outside corner. A great location for Brent Moran, and Parker Martin knew it immediately as he will jog back to the dugout down the first baseline, making no eye contact with head coach Eric Grove, and goes back into the dugout.
3 Ks now for Moran, who seems to be getting stronger as this one's going along.
Kyle West will now step in, the left-handed batter, playing shortstop today for Hedgesville. That first pitch to West, strike on the outside corner. And it seems like Moran is getting more comfortable as this game has gone on. 1 run in the second for Hedgesville, 2 in the third. As the 0-1 to Kyle West misses high and outside. Ball 1. It was 1 run in the second, 2 in the third for Hedgesville. Squirrels in the fourth, and 2 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth for Moorefield. That 1-1 driven into left field, coming in on it and making the play is Derek Hoyt. A 1-2-3 inning for Moorefield, and Hedgesville's bats have gone dead, and the infield needs to step up along with Chase DeWalter on the mound as he will come back out for his second inning in relief. When we come back, we'll head to the top of inning number 6. It's Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
6-3 as we head to the top of the sixth. Carolina Hurricanes. A must-win for both teams. And hopefully home ice prevails and experience prevails for the Washington Capitals.
Home ice has prevailed so far.
We'll have all the post-game reaction, win or lose, tomorrow on Miller time. First pitch to Lane Hours. A strike on the outside corner off the left hand of Chase DeLauder. Again, top six. It's Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3. The 0-1 low and inside, 4-1. Count now even at 1-1, strike 2 Hours. Yours, mine, ours, somebody's. Lane Hours, today's starting catcher. Here comes the 1-1 from DeLauder. That one low and inside again, ball 2. So far in this one, 0 for 3 for the batter in the cleanup spot. Here comes that 2-1. Identical location on the last 3 pitches, low and inside. Now to that hitter's count at 3-1.
Well, Hours has put it in the air each time. A fly out to center, a pop out to short, and a fly out to left.
Here comes that 3-1, a big swing and a miss. Count now runs full at 3-2.
Checking out some other scores, we were mentioning Martinsburg and their win yesterday over Hampshire. They're now 19-6 with that victory, looking for their 20th win of the season tonight.
The 3-2 driven into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit over the head of Parker Martin, and Thomas Butka playing too deep in right field to come in and make that play. So the 3-2 driven to the opposite field for Lane Hours for a leadoff single.
Yeah, kind of muscled that one, if you will, over the head of the second baseman as Martin could not get out to it. That one seemed to come out off the end of the bat, but got just enough of it to get it into the outfield. And the hits continue. Now 6 in the ball game for Moorefield.
That'll bring up Matthew Jenkins. He reached on an error in the 5th, but 0 for 3 on the day as a check swing driven down the third base line, but foul.
Checking in on Martinsburg. They're hosting Musselman tonight, a game originally to be played on Friday night, but with rain in the forecast really over the next 2 days, they decided to get that one in tonight since each had an opening in their schedule, and they're in the bottom of the second with Martinsburg out in front 3-0.
Check back over to first base, but diving in just underneath the tag is Hours. A good move by Chase DeLauder. He has one of the best pickoff moves that I've seen from a high school pitcher. Doesn't really make a whole lot of motion towards first base, but just whips it over as the 0-1 misses high and outside to Jenkins. Count even at 1-1.
Well, and as a left-handed pitcher looking at that runner, much easier to make that move, and he's got a good one, as you said. Hey, by the way, top of the third now at P.O. Faulkner. Martinsburg with a 3-1 lead over Musselman.
The 1-1 driven foul and out of play. So Jenkins now falls behind in the count 1-2.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the season, as the Dogs got off to that slow start, that they might be the first one in the Panhandle to get to that 20-win plateau?
Yeah, you got to remember they were also a little short-handed at the beginning of the season. DeLauder comes set for that 1-2. A swing and a miss and a strikeout of Matthew Jenkins for the first out of the inning. DeLauder took a little bit off that one in a great location on the outside corner. Nothing Jenkins could do with that one. He will sit down on strikes.
Yeah, late on that swing, it seemed like he didn't want to swing, and at the last second realized, that might be a strike. I better just try to fight that one off, and couldn't make any contact.
Hours standing on first with the leadoff single. He will dive back in after DeLauder will check in on him. Grant Keller, our batter at the plate, was originally the DH for our right fielder, Coleman Mangold. Mangold having some struggles in right field, so now Keller playing right as well. The first pitch to him, high and inside, ball 1.
Let's take a look at the Jefferson Cougars. We had that one yesterday as they scored the 11-0 win over Musselman, giving them their 18th win on the year, 18-5 heading into play today. And Jefferson is playing at Berkeley Springs as we speak. Give you that score in a moment.
The 1-0, a swing and a miss by Grant Keller. Now 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter.
Berkeley Springs in the bottom of the second has a 4-1 lead over the Jefferson Cougars as they play a little further up the road from us.
Jefferson, a good win last night in Mercy Rule fashion over Musselman. That's the 1-1, a breaking ball. It's going to get off the glove of Brady Weaver. Advancing to second will be Lane Hours on what I'm going to call is a pass ball. As I think a catchable ball for Brady Weaver. It wasn't right down the middle, but definitely a play he probably should have kept in front.
Oh, and now you get another run in scoring position where a base hit or a misplayed ball could get him that much closer or even bring him in.
Lauder out of the stretch, a foul ball. Back to the backstop. That draws the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Grant Keller. 1 down here in the top of inning number 6. It's Moorefield 6. Hedgesville 3. A big 4-run inning in the 5th for Moorefield. Also added 2 in the 4th. After in the 2nd and 3rd, Hedgesville had 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. So a tale of 2 different games within 1 game here at Eagle Park. Ready for the 2-2. That one misses high. 4 ball, 3. The count now full to Keller.
Part of the fun of the game of baseball. You know, you get 3 outs in each half inning for each team. By the end of a game, 21 outs on the high school level playing 7 innings, and every single one of them can be a little bit of a different chapter in a book.
The 3-2 was well inside, but able to foul it off and live to see another pitch is Grant Keller. Extremely late on that pitch and hit it right off the inside edge of the bat. Fouled it off down the 3rd base line, but again, just fouled it off, did what he needed to do to see another pitch. The count's still full at 3-2 as the Lauder comes set out of the stretch. Here comes that 3-2 in a ball. A driven to the opposite side. Kyle West up with it. A fire serve to Jameson Matthew for out number 2.
Yeah, that one got in on the hands of Keller, and he just kind of fisted that one the other way. Kyle West able to really circle around that baseball, set himself up nicely to hold the runner at second and make a strong throw to first.
You mentioned a strong throw, a laser by Kyle West at shortstop. 2 down now here in the top of the 6th. It'll bring up Derek Hoyt as he would come in, reaching a couple times and a swing and a miss on the first pitch he sees. He's reached on a fielder's choice and an error. Laid down a sacrifice bunt in inning number 5, putting a couple runners in scoring position. The 0-1, a strike right down the middle as Hoyt was taken all the way.
And that proved to be a big sacrifice bunt. And remember, he did it with 2 strikes on him, as his head coach said, hey, you didn't get it down the first 2 times. You better get it down here. And he did.
Here's that 0-2 and a swing and a miss. A strikeout of Derek Hoyt, and Hedgesville gets out of the inning. DeLauder gets out of the inning on the mound after giving up the leadoff single. The runner does get to second, but no further than that as Lance Hours is stranded on second base. We'll head to the bottom of inning number 6. The score remains Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3.
Welcome to La Bella Vita, named for my Grandma Vita. Our mountaintop getaway honors her legacy while complementing the home's spectacular views. This recently renovated property boasts a breathtaking landscape of Deep Creek Lake while providing great open interior spaces for a sensational vacation. You'll immediately notice the great room allows for entertaining, dining, and relaxing after long days on the lake or skiing on the slopes of Wisp. Your family and friends will enjoy relaxing in all the open spaces. The home features 6 bedrooms, including 4 that are private suites. And each of the 4 levels of this home feature amazing visibility as far as the eye can see. Like our family, we hope you enjoy making memories here on the mountain. We love sharing the spacious, warm, and inviting home that overlooks the lake. Cheers to the beautiful life, La Bella Vita.
We're in the bottom of inning number 6. Right now it's Moorefield doubling up Hedgesville 6-3. Hedgesville went 1-2-3 in the bottom of inning number 5, including a strikeout for Brent Moran, who has seemed a lot stronger as the game has gone on and seemed a lot better in tougher situations. It'll be Ryan Fry leading it off. It'll be the 7, 8, 9. So not an ideal part of the lineup for Coach Grove. As Ryan Fry will step in.
Before the inning gets started, let's wrap up our look at what's going on around the EPAC. We mentioned Musselman at Martinsburg tonight. Musselman with that loss at Jefferson yesterday, now 11 and 8. And Spring Mills in Washington not in action today, but they met yesterday. Spring Mills won 10-0, improving to 14 and 11. Washington now at 1 and 19.
Fry stands in and drives one to the left side. It's Baldwin with it. A fire over to first. A good pick in the dirt, but not held on to. As safe at first to be Ryan Fry. Blake Watts not able to hold on to that one. That was a low, but not quite all the way in the dirt. Just popped out of the glove, and that'll go down as an E3 in our scorebook.
Yeah, that throw was just a little bit low, and Watts reaching out, trying to pull it in. It was very similar to what happened on the ground ball to Jamison Matthew a couple of innings ago. Really thought he had it in that pocket, but did not.
James Franklin explaining to the away dugout what the call was. As he will move behind the pitcher's mound with a runner on. That'll bring up Thomas Butka. Check back over to first. Fry back in safe on the dive. Butka, a defensive replacement for who would be batting in the number 8 spot in Tyler Bubb.
Butka 0 for 4 at the plate so far this season. No walks and a couple of strikeouts.
That takes strike one right down the middle. Bubb in this one was 1 for 2. Had a single back in inning number 2. Would advance a second on a wild pitch. Also a ground out victim is the 0-1. Other strike taken for Butka. So Ryan Fry takes his lead off first base. Not an overly aggressive lead. As the 0-2 ready to Butka. As he drives it to the right side, coming up with it is Williams. He'll fire over to first for the fielder's choice, but the big first out of the inning. A good job by Williams, who had to make up ground, moving back to his left, our right, to get that baseball, and quickly had to get it to Watts as Butka was moving quickly up that first base line.
Well, and Williams still moving as he was bending down to pick that one up. That was a very athletic play. Nice play at second to be able to get the out, and a nice job by Butka to at least advance Fry to second.
So a runner in scoring position as Caleb Brown steps in and fouls off the first pitch he sees out of play down the third base line. And that's a big play moving the runner up because it takes the double play out for the most part as Caleb Brown, a hearty cut as he really bailed out on that one. That front foot came out, as did his head and front shoulder.
And it gives you a guy in scoring position, and right now Hedgesville needs that run, down 6-3 with one out and a runner at second. You want to at least get this run in here. Obviously, you'd like a few more, but you got to just chip away with only one at bat left.
Here comes the 0-2, a strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Caleb Brown will have a seat. A great location off the arm of Brent Moran. And a strike 3 looking as another intentional walk to Chase DeLauder, the second one of this game.
Well, and why not? You know, he singled back in that fourth inning, hitting it very sharply. You did manage to get one in on his hands and get him to pop out in his first at-bat, but in that second inning, you had runners at second and third. First was open, they put him on and got the out. In this case, first base was open with a runner at second, put him on, and let's see what happens.
Brings up Josh Rush.
No.
Brings up number 14.
Yeah.
Have a
new
pinch hitter, and that's going to be Aiden Milton. Milton's swing and a miss on the 1-0. Haven't seen a whole lot of Milton in games we have called this year. And he's up in a big situation with 2 runners on. Here comes that 1-1, another hearty cut, but a swing and a miss. That's Milton now behind in the count 1-2.
Now let's take a look at those numbers for Milton. 2 hits in 8 at-bats, no homers, no runs batted in, no walks, and 1 strikeout. That's a .250 average in limited chances.
The 1-2 to Milton. That one blown away for ball 2. In a big situation, 1 runner in scoring position. is Ryan Fry. DeLauder standing on first base. Hedgesville down by 3, 6-3 here in the bottom of inning number 6. So down to their final 4 outs to play with. Milton took time at the plate. He now steps back in. All parties are ready. Here comes that 2-2 and a swing and a miss held onto by Lane Hours after the slight foul tip at the plate. And Aiden Milton strikes out in his pinch hit opportunity. No runs crossed. A couple of base runners left on as we will head to the top of inning number 7. Hedgesville is going to need to hold Moorefield and no runs, and they're going to need 3 of their own in the bottom of the 7th. We will head there next. Again, it's Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3.
The National Maritime Center primary mission is to credential all U.S. mariners. We have approximately 250 employees here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Most people aren't aware of the quality of life here in Berkeley County. We have a lot of employees that are from the area. We obviously have folks that have to do tours here, and it's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret of how nice the quality of life is here.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
Top of the 7th. It's Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3 here at Eagle Park, and taking you the rest of the way with the play-by-play. Send you back to Matt Miller.
Matt, thank you very much. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Thanks to Marco and Ash with Marco Nation coordinating our video for this one on TV 10 and the WRNR TV page on YouTube. Thanks to Caleb Falero back at the studio as well. This half inning, top of the 7th. Time to take a look at this date in baseball history. Brought to you by Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. For all of your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair. Phone 304-262-0208. We'll get to it during this half inning with Blake Watts, number 8 hitter, first baseman, standing in, getting things started for Moorefield in their final at bat. And
we'll have a
pinch hitter here as well.
Number 14, Mason Hours.
So Mason Hours down in the count, 0-1. Next delivery in on his hands. He'll chop it into the dirt, and it rolls foul on that first base side. So Mason Hours getting an opportunity to swing, replacing Blake Watts.
Which I'm not sure I completely understand. Watts having a pretty good day. Drew a walk, came around to score a run, and got a single back in the 2nd.
Well, and now Hours down on strikes on the 0-2 pitch, and Chase DeLauder has his 3rd strikeout since coming in relief. He has done what he's been asked to do, has shut down Moorefield, but so far Hedgesville's not been able to get the bats going to try to mount a rally after having the early 3-0 lead and now trailing 6-3. Williams at the plate, swings, may have gotten just a piece of that one on the outside part of the plate. Weaver hangs on at strike 1.
I don't think Moorefield's used to seeing the speed that DeLauder is bringing. You can tell so far everybody behind when DeLauder brings the fastball, and if I'm Chase DeLauder right now, I'm not bringing anything else.
Williams has walked twice, delivered an RBI single, so officially 1 for 1 as he takes the 0-2 pitch down low. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's working quickly, is DeLauder, trying to get his team in there for the bottom of the 7th when they'll have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due. 1-2 up and away. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now this date in baseball history, April the 24th of 1901. We're going into the Wayback Machine. Fastball high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Why do I do that? Because it was on this date in 1901 in front of 14,000 fans at the Chicago Cricket Club. The American League completes its first game. Swing and a miss at the 3-2 pitch, and Williams goes down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Chase DeLauder to get this 7th inning started. Gives him 4 in the ball game now. We're back to the top of the order. 2 outs, bases empty for Brent Moran. It was Roy Patterson pitching the White Sox by the Cleveland Blues 8-2 in a game that took only 90 minutes. First pitch to Moran in there for a strike. And that would be the first official game of the American League. Ooh, beautiful breaking pitch on the inside corner. 0-2 to Moran. By the way, the opponent, the Cleveland Blues, they would change their name to Indians in 1915. Pitch off the outside part of the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Their name at that moment in time derived from the jersey color. They wore a bright blue jersey, so they were the Cleveland Blues. Off-speed pitch taken for a called strike 3. Moran gets caught looking, and the side is retired as Chase DeLauder strikes out all 3 batters that he faces. 5 strikeouts now in the ball game, and DeLauder did his job, and now it's up to the offense to try to mount the rally. Hedgesville in their final at bat in the bottom of the 7th have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due, and we'll be back with the bottom of the inning after this timeout, and Moorefield leading 6-3.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution. Reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
As we go to the bottom of the 7th here at Eagle Field, we check in on the other couple of games going on this evening. Bottom of the 3rd now up at Berkeley Springs. The Indians lead Jefferson by a 6-3 score. And as we effort through game changer, Martinsburg batting in the bottom of the 3rd over at P.O. Faulkner Park now with a 6-2 lead over the Musselman Appleman. And a hockey game that will be joining in progress as we wrap up. The Capitals, a 2-0 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. Now Hunter Coe to get things started against Brent Moran. And the first pitch of this bottom of the 7th, high and tight. That is ball 1. We've got Moran at 88 pitches through 6 innings. 58 of those have gone for strikes. He's been very efficient and effective on the mound. The right-hander ready, and the pitch, big swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Coe has flied out to right, reached on an infield single and scored. Last time up in the 4th inning, struck out, so he's 1 for 3. Awaits the 1-1, and here it comes. That one works down low and outside. 2 balls and a strike, just 2 walks issued, along with 5 strikeouts for Moran, who has given up the 3 runs on a grand total of 9 hits so far. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Count now at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Moran, I think that 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Thank you very much. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Count even regardless, but just add 1 more tally to each.
Took a little something off of that one. Now that 2-2 on the way, misses outside. It's a full count, 3-2. That's going to get a visit from the catcher. That looks to be, is that Garrett Strickler? No, that is a 13. My apologies. That's Lane Hours. Had the strap for the chest protector. I thought there was an 18 there for a minute as opposed to the number 13. Now that quick visit to the mound, and now the 3-2 a high fastball. Coe swings through it. Strikeout number 6 for Brent Moran, 1 down in the Hedgesville 7th.
And you really don't see this that often, but it seems like Moran's fastball has gotten quicker and quicker and more precise throughout this ball game. Since Hedgesville scored in the 3rd, really not a whole lot doing, and Moran's pitched very, very well deep into this ball game and has pitched better the deeper he's gotten.
So Brady Weaver to the plate. Checks up on a pitch that misses low and outside. An appeal to our base umpire, James Franklin, says no swing. A ball and no strikes. And yeah, you got it. He gave up 2 singles in that 4th inning. Managed to pitch around those without giving up a run. Set down the side in order in the 5th. And gave up just a base runner on an error and an intentional walk in that 6th inning. And now has an out here in this 7th inning. So Moran really pitching well, although he misses with the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes to Brady Weaver. Right-hand batter with power. Takes this pitch at the knees for a called strike, now 2-1. Weaver with a fly out to right in the 1st. Had an RBI triple and a run scored in the 3rd. Grounded out to 3rd his last time up in the 5th inning. 2-1 pitch on the way. Down and away. It's 3-1. He tried to go back to that outside part where he had gotten a strike earlier against Weaver. Now a possible pitch to hit. Let's see if Weaver has that green light. Here comes that 3-1. High fly ball into left field. Derek Hoyt is underneath of it, and he will have it for out number 2. So Weaver did get the green light, but he missed it. Got underneath of it and hit a towering fly ball to left. 2 down bases empty. And it will bring up Parker Martin.
Martin coming in on the day. A strikeout victim, but does have 2 singles. Drove in a run and came around to score a run in his stat column today.
Now the right-hand batter takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. Martin, a couple of singles as you mentioned. Gave way to Thomas Butka, who served as a courtesy runner earlier. He scored 1 run. Martin with an RBI on one of those hits. Fouls the 1-0 back out of play. Hedgesville laboring at times to score runs in the midst of this tough span, if you will. Now they would fall to 5-6 in their last 11 games unless they can mount the rally in this one. Swinging at the 1-1, it's a high bouncer towards the shortstop. Down with it is Van Meter, and the throw to first in plenty of time. That ground out goes 6-3, and it brings this ball game to a close as Brent Moran sets down Hedgesville in order in the bottom of the 7th, and he'll get the complete game victory as Moorefield wins it by the final score of 6-3. We'll come back and tell you all about it as we get into our post-game show. It's brought to you by The Final Score, with plenty of screens to watch the games, pool tables, trivia nights, and great food and drink selections. Meet your friends at The Final Score, 1517 Winchester Avenue, just south of Martinsburg. We're back with our post-game after this timeout. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with 2 great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
Whether you need business cards, banners, magnets, office stationery, or promo material, Panhandle Printing and Design can make it happen. Call 304-267-7400 for a quote, or visit us on the web at panhandleprintdesign.com.
field. Matt Miller, Matt Crawford with you. Marco and Ash handling our camera and video setup today. Caleb Falero is back at the studio getting into our post-game show. It's brought to you by the final score at 15-17 Winchester Avenue, just south of Martinsburg. Well, Matt, let's begin with a quick recap of the scoring. Neither team put a run on the board in that first inning. We go to the bottom of the second when Hedgesville got a leadoff base hit from Parker Martin. He gave way to Thomas Budka, a courtesy runner. He advanced to second on a pass ball after a single from Kyle West. It set up Ryan Fry, who had an RBI fielder's choice ground ball and went 5-4. That plated a run. Hedgesville took the early 1-0 lead. They added 2 more in the bottom of the third inning. Hunter Coe reaches on an infield single, scores on a triple from Brady Weaver. Weaver would give way to a courtesy runner who would come around to score on a Parker Martin RBI single. At that point, 3-0 Hedgesville. And the way that they were playing, and Parker Martin was throwing on the hill, things looked good. But then you go to that fourth inning, top of the fourth, and it was a couple of runs being scored by Moorefield as Derek Hoyt reached on a one-out error after Blake Watts drew a base on balls. Thomas Williams had an RBI single. An error would bring home the other run. Moorefield was right back in it, trailing 3-2. And then in the top of the fifth inning, the Yellow Jackets put 4 runs on the board, and they did it on just 2 hits. Matthew Jenkins reached on an error. Grant Keller walked after a sacrifice bunt and a bounce out to the pitcher. 2 outs in the inning. Thomas Williams drew a 4-pitch base on balls. That loaded him up for Brent Moran, and the leadoff hitter had a 2 RBI single. Isaac Van Meter followed with a 2 RBI double. And, well, Moran did the rest on the mound as he goes the distance, and Moorefield gets the 6-3 win.
And they did what they needed to win this ball game. For Hedgesville, it really looked like, and I think Coach Grove will tell you the same thing, there were certain points where they just didn't seem like their heads were completely in it. I know he went out for a mound visit back in inning number 5, and you could tell he was upset about what he was seeing, just where everybody's heads were at. I don't want to say the effort, but just taking too long to get balls out of the glove, stuff that shouldn't happen at this point in the season. Moorefield took advantage and did a good job, and they improve and get their 16th win of the year tonight, and they deserved it. And it could have been a lot worse. They left 10 runners on base, including 2 separate occasions where they got out number 3, as we had a bit of a blow up in my right ear. Had 2 separate innings where they left the bases loaded. So it could have been a lot worse for Hedgesville and for Moorefield. They could have made this one a lot bigger than just a 3-run victory.
Good job by Moorefield. They avenged that earlier season loss at home against Hedgesville. 11-4 was the final in that one. Well, the road team gets the win again in this one as Moorefield comes to Eagle Field and takes one from Hedgesville by the 6-3 final. A 1-minute timeout, then we come back to wrap up our final score post-game show. We'll quickly run the numbers from this one and then get you off to Washington Capitals hockey. Game 7 of their first round series against Carolina. At last check, a 2-0 Caps lead. Again, we'll join that in progress coming up. It's West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. Your final tonight, Moorefield 6, Hedgesville 3.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
Life can get in the way these days. We all know that. Work commitments, social commitments, volunteer commitments, family commitments. You put your heart into all of it. You've got enough to worry about already. Your roof shouldn't be one of those things. Everything should just work. But when your roof is in need of an upgrade, you shouldn't have to worry about that either. Modern Renovations, your 4-state roofing solution, reminding you that home is where the heart really is.
Let's put the final touches on this one as we look at the numbers from tonight's 6-3 win for Moorefield over Hedgesville. Stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, who remind you, don't become a statistic. Protect your family and home with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring, too. Learn more by calling Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. Let's look at the pitchers first. For Hedgesville, Parker Martin goes 4 innings, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, no strikeouts, walked 5. He'll get a no decision in the start. Thomas Budka takes the loss in 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs on 2 hits, no strikeouts, 2 base on balls. Chase DeLauder comes in to work the final 2 1/3 innings, no runs allowed, just 1 hit. He struck out 5 and did not walk a batter. Meanwhile, Brent Moran gets the start and the win. A complete game effort for Moorefield. Gave up 3 runs on 9 hits in 7 innings. He would strike out 6 while walking 2. Offensively for Moorefield, 6 hits in the ballgame. Brent Moran had a big one, a 2 RBI single in the 5th inning. Isaac Van Meter had a big one as well, a 2 RBI double in that 4-run 5th inning. And a single in there for Lane Hours and an infield hit for Grant Keller out of the number 9 spot. Blake Watts had a single, and out of the number 9 spot, it was a single to drive home a run for Thomas Williams, as the bottom part of the order really did some damage for Moorefield.
And I said it within the broadcast. I think that's one of the benefits of, and usually you don't see both the 8 and 9 guys kind of as that buffer, but I think that's why you should have a guy that can have a good average or at least a good on-base percentage, as both those guys did at the bottom of the lineup. And I think it's beneficial. I think it showed today for Moorefield.
Hedgesville pounded out 9 hits, but just could not get the runs. It was a single in 2 trips to the plate, a couple of intentional walks for Chase DeLauder. Josh Rush had 2 hits in 3 trips to the plate. Both were singles. Hunter Coe, an infield single and a run scored. Brady Weaver had an RBI triple. Parker Martin, 2 hits, including an RBI single, a run scored as well. Kyle West had a single. Ryan Fry, an RBI fielder's choice, also reached on an error but did not have a base hit. Tyler Bubb added a single in there as well. Final totals look like this. For Moorefield, 6 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. They left 10-7 in scoring position. Hedgesville, 3 runs on 9 hits, 4 errors. They left 8-6 in scoring position. Moran is 3-2 with the win. Budka falls to 0-2 with the loss, and our time of the game, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Hedgesville now at 16-8, while Moorefield improves to that same 16-8 record. Final stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring too. How to put the finishing touches on our final score post-game show. They're at 1517 Winchester Avenue, just south of Martinsburg. Hey, meet your friends at the final score. Well, with rain in the forecast the next couple of days, the game that we were going to broadcast on Friday being moved to today, it looks like we'll be back on the air on Monday, and that'll be at Spring Mills as the Cardinals host the Jefferson Cougars. That was a good one when these two on April 2nd. Jefferson came away with a 3-1 victory in that one. Looking forward to the Monday night. Game time is at 7. Our pregame at 6:40. Miller time will be at 5 o'clock. All right, Matt, have you checked in on the Capitals?
Still a 2-0 game.
Still in period 1, or are they at the intermission?
I assume by this point they're at the intermission, with it being 8:22. We'll check real quick to just give you a update on where we will be sending you when we close this broadcast in a few seconds. As my phone slowly works out here at Hedgesville, not the greatest cell reception possible.
Caleb, hit the Jeopardy theme music in the background.
22 seconds left in the first, so we will send you right into the intermission. They'll give you a scoring recap. We'll get you up to date on what you missed in the first period and bring you the second and third period of action in Game 7, a do or die for each team. Let's go Caps.
Well, let's get you out there as quickly as we can. Special thanks to each of our sponsors for supporting our coverage of high school baseball. Thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks to Athletic Director Aaron Whitford, all the staff and folks here at Eagle Field for their help and support with our broadcast. And thanks to both head coaches, Wade Armentrout and Eric Grove, providing information and interviews for our broadcast as well. Thanks goes out to Marco and Ash with Marco Nation, helping with our video coordination for the broadcast this evening. Our studio engineer, Caleb Falero. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you one more time tonight's final score. It is Moorefield 6 and Hedgesville 3. Until Monday, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Miller Honda, Cox Holiday Professionals CPAs, Brown Funeral Homes, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, The Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Parsons Ford, Bechtel Jewelers, WH Miller Systems, D&N Auto, The Mortgage Center, the Hagerstown Suns, Haas's Steak and Sea, Bears Repair, The Final Score, and Atlantic Security.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talk radio WRNR.com. All rights reserved.